Welcome to the PrepNet, presented every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Talk2Me's Channel 14. Come join us to discuss everything about prepping and hear what others have done. All About Electricity Part 3. Generators. Generators are another way to provide you with electricity. As with anything in prepping, they have their pros and cons. The first thing to do is explain what a generator is. Generators are powered by either gasoline, diesel, propane, or natural gas, which turn an electric-producing generator and are either fixed or portable. We will be discussing portable generators here that run on gas or diesel. Generator specifications are important as you need to get a generator that will meet your needs. Generators are rated in watts, such as 1,000 watts, 3,000 watts, and so on. Be careful here. Generators really have two specifications. One is the maximum running watts, and the other is the maximum peak watts. The running watts are the maximum amount of watts the generator can provide continuously. This is the specification you need to know to see how many things you can run at the same time. Warning: if you need 2,000 watts of continuous power, do not buy a 2,000 watt generator. Get at least a 2,500 watt or 3,000 watt generator. You need to have more than what you actually need, and this will give you a little room for growth. The peak watts are needed for anything that needs more watts to start and less to run. This is the case for refrigerators, freezers, and many motors. Make sure the generator you get will fit those needs, as many will advertise the peak watts instead of the continuous watts, so you may not be getting the generator you need. The other specification is how the generator produces electricity. The standard type usually just says it's a generator. These may or may not put out a clean AC sine wave. These are fine for power tools, motors, and most lights. The other type is called inverter generators. These put out a more pure sine wave AC. Use these types of generators if you need to run electronics, computers, and laser printers. We will have a more detailed explanation of AC sine waves in the solar topic of All About Electricity. Many of the smaller generators, 3,000 watts or less, will only produce 120-volt AC power. They have from 2 to 4 outlets, and some produce 12 volts for charging a car battery. Many larger generators, over 3,000 watts, can also provide 240-volt split-phase power. This is used to power electric water heaters, electric ranges, electric dryers, and 240-volt well pumps. Each outlet usually has an AC breaker, so you don't overload the outlet. If you exceed the maximum running watts or maximum peak watts of the generator, it will quit providing power. There may be a reset switch, or you may have to shut down the generator and restart. Please look at the specifications of the generators before you buy one. Now, how do I know what size generator to get? The easiest way is to look at the appliance to see what the company says it draws. The other way is to use a special meter to measure how much power your appliances use. I will have a link to one of the meters I use in the video description. Then add all of those you want to run at the same time together to get the maximum watts needed. To be on the safe side, find a generator that produces 25% more than that. The other spec you need to know is how much fuel the generator will use. They usually quote this as the number of running hours at 50% load per fuel tank. As an example, my 6,500 watt generator will run 8 hours on 6 gallons of gas at 50% load, which would be 3,225 watts. This will also help you determine how much fuel you will need. Now, to a dirty little secret. As much as I rely on and like my solar and a large battery bank solutions, I have access to 6 generators. They're all portable to a degree. My 1,000 watt inverter generator is my most portable and the quietest one. You can stand next to this generator and have a normal conversation. It will run 8 hours on half a gallon of gas at 50% load, which is good enough for charging most of my rechargeable batteries and radios, but is really too small for power tools. My 1,800 watt generator is good for most hand power tools. My 3,500 watt, 120, 240 volt generator, which is mounted on a wagon, is very portable and can run my 240-volt well pump and anything else I may need. My 6,500 watt generator is portable, but I would not want to move it very far without putting it on something with better wheels. And as stated earlier, it uses a lot of fuel. Why have so many generators? For one thing, these were purchased over time, and they each have their place in my alternative power solutions. If my 1000-watt inverter generator will charge my batteries with less fuel, why would I use my larger and more fuel-hungry generators to do the same? Just a note here, as I mentioned, I have access to 6 generators. The fifth one is a 5,000-watt 120-240-volt AC generator run by a 2-cylinder Onan gas engine. It also has an electric air compressor. The sixth one is a 10,000-watt 120-240-volt AC generator run by a 4-cylinder diesel engine. They are both mounted on trailers and are meant to run a small military camp, including all lights, radios, and all other electric equipment continuously. These are not used unless that amount of power is needed. Now to the awaited pros and cons. The pros: it is a 1-unit solution. Just start it and connect your stuff. A generator will provide the stated output until the tank runs out. Battery-type solutions will drain the battery, and it will take time to recharge, whereas you can quickly refill the generator and get it going quickly. The cons are, they do rely on fuel, which will be in limited supply. You have to deal with the heat and exhaust that the generators produce. You need extra fuel, oil, air and oil filters, and spark plugs. Unless you buy an expensive commercial-grade generator, they are not made to be run for long periods of time, like week after week after week. If the generator is running and you are not drawing any power, it will waste your fuel. My recommendation is to use generators for specific things that a generator may excel at, and then use a solar system for most everything else. We will have more information in the solar topic of All About Electricity. Next week's topic will continue our All About Electricity series and discuss batteries. If you have any questions about what we have discussed here tonight, please send your question to prepnetch14@gmail.com and enter question in the subject line.